Well, our next guest that's coming on is just an amazing guy. He has started a business capitalizing on, one of our great natural resources in Oregon that people don't realize we have, and that is Oregon truffles. And it's a lot of fun to find out how this new business is going and how they hunt these truffles. So I'm thrilled to welcome Matt Morris to Oregon Outdoors. Matt, how are you? Did we lose you, Matt? Matt's off in truffle land. Right. We'll get him back in a minute. We'll hook him back up.
We've got him, right?
Did we have him?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are, Matt. Welcome to Oregon Outdoors. We've been having a few technical problems with all the storms. We've lost broadcasting a couple times today.
We didn't know what it was.
Yeah, and it just so glad you're on, and we're glad we're on the air. So welcome. We're so happy to have you,
get
Matt.
in here.
Well, yeah, thanks. It's good to be on.
And now tell us, how in the world did you get involved in starting a truffle business in Oregon?
Well, it all started, my interests were in harvesting wild mushrooms, and I met a number of people when I was at school at Oregon State who liked doing the same things, and a few of them decided to kind of go down this new path of truffle harvesting, and, I didn't really... At the time, I didn't have a lot of time to do it. I didn't have a dog. I just was off doing other things. And then a few years later, I connected with some of those friends again who really had gotten into it and had trained truffle dogs and whatnot. And the whole process intrigued me. So I started learning more and more about it and doing some research into the Oregon truffle market, and learned that there wasn't too much going on, and not a lot of people even knew that Oregon had truffles. So I called one of my buddies up one day and I asked him if he wanted to start a business, and here we are.
Oh gosh, yeah. And now
are there a lot of them?
Truffle businesses or truffles?
No, not truffle businesses. I mean, is that a large commodity, or is it difficult
to find the truffles?
Yes.
Or
yeah, are there a lot of them?
There are quite a few, and the more and more truffle dogs that are kind of coming onto the scene, the more we're learning about the distribution and abundance of Oregon truffles. And in the right habitat and the right soil conditions, there can be, pounds and pounds of truffles in Oregon.
Now that is amazing, and you talk about the truffle dog because the name of your company is the dog's name, which is Xylo, and talk about how this dog finds truffles.
Yeah, so the friend that I called up one day, his name is Ebenezer. He's my business partner. He had Xylo, and he had trained Xylo with some shavings of fresh truffles that he had gotten from a friend, and he just made it a game of, Xylo, where's the truffle? And he quickly acquired the scent and started finding them in the house and around the outside of the house, and he took them out into the woods, and he started finding them out there. And Xylo just thinks that it's a great game, and it provides us with the truffles necessary to make our truffle oil.
Oh my gosh! Well, what a wonderful partner to have. I mean, the maintenance has got to be low. You do the taxes for him. Everything works out good.
Yeah.
It's great to have a dog for a partner.
Exactly. Well, that's why we had to name the business after him. He does the majority of the work. So.
Oh yeah, and he's a cute guy too. I mean,
He
he's really a good-looking dog. What breed is he, or what breeds is he comprised of?
He is a Jack Russell mix. Evan's not quite sure what he is. He found him on an ad on Craigslist, and somebody was trying to get rid of him, and Evan picked him up, and there wasn't a lot of information that went with him, so that's all we really know.
Wow, how great to find him on Craigslist, and he's the basis for this wonderful new business. Now, talk about the types of truffles that there are in Oregon.
So there's two common commercial species. There's a lot of different kinds of truffles in Oregon, but two main commercial species. There's an Oregon white truffle and an Oregon black. And the white truffle is a little bit more of a strong smelling kind of garlic and spice smell and flavor, whereas the black truffle is a little bit lighter, kind of a pineapple smell when you hold it, when you have a raw truffle. And then when we make it into the oil, it's kind of a buttery sweet smell and flavor.
That's interesting.
Now, also talk about, because I guess one of the reasons originally that Oregon truffles weren't really highly rated is that people raked for them, so they'd get like old, way beyond their prime truffles. They get ripe truffles. There wasn't any real quality control. So talk about the difference between finding a truffle that's past its prime and a ripe truffle that's really going to give you wonderful yield.
Absolutely. So that's in the truffle world. Dog harvested is not just a cute little slogan. Actually, there's a lot of meaning behind it. And so dogs are trained on the scent of a ripe truffle. So you guarantee that if a dog finds it, it's ripe. If you rake for truffles, not only does it cause, immense ecological damage, it's unsightly and whatnot, but you find every spectrum of ripeness. So truffles are present underground for months at a time, but they only ripen for a short window, about a week.
Wow.
So if you rake for them, you find anywhere from the completely flavorless, underripe truffle to, a few that are actually going to be ripe, but then others that are overripe. And, truffles exude intense odors, and the overripe truffles are, it's pretty bad, we'll say. So the market has been flooded with all these different spectrum of ripeness, and chefs around the world and regionally and around the world have kind of just had no interest in them because they hadn't been exposed to the true ripe Oregon truffle.
Right, and now I know in Europe, if you're going to go buy a pound of truffles, it's going to run you probably $900 to $1,200 for a pound of truffles. What are the prices like in Oregon?
So the price is still kind of being set. The market is still really young, and truffle dogs are still coming on the scene. The market still has raked truffles in it, but we're seeing anywhere for premium dog harvested, clean cut truffles anywhere from $400 to $600 wholesale.
Wow, that's
a
pound.
That's a pound, yeah. And you might find them at the market for a lot less than that, but you have to be a little suspicious of where it came from and what kind of quality it is, if that's what you're seeing. But chefs around the region are happy to pay that price for if they know what they're getting.
For quality. And it sounds to me, Matt, that there's a tremendous amount of growth potential as far as the price supports as we get refined quality in the truffle market, kind of like grapes and vineyard appellations and quality. Do you think there's a lot of room there in the state of Oregon?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's still a really young industry, and it's at its infancy, basically. So as entrepreneurs start to come in, and chefs start to compare ripe Oregon truffles to what they get in Europe, and once there's an appreciation built for them, I think the market will continue to grow and price could very well continue to climb.
Now, talk about the product that you guys produce under the Xylo label, because you have just some phenomenal truffle oil, and tell us about how you make it.
So, yes, truffles, since like I said, are they're only ripe for about a week-long period. So if you use raw truffles, you can only use them, in that week prime, and while they're in their prime. But if you harness that flavor in oils, you can have that same smell, taste, and flavor year-round, basically. So we infuse a grapeseed oil. It just is a nice, fairly flavorless, fatty oil base, and we infuse that with ripe Oregon truffles. And basically the fats in the oil capture or absorb the gases exuded by the truffles when they're ripe. And it's about a week-long process to infuse our oils, and Evan is checking on the truffles twice a day. Part of the truffle can start to go bad before the rest goes bad. So he's constantly shaving pieces off that he knows are about to go bad and ruin the flavor of the oil. So, it's kind of an intense process, but we pride ourselves on quality control and presenting the true flavor of the Oregon truffle to the consumer.
Oh yeah, and with the grapeseed oil, you really get the true truffle flavor because you're not clouding it up with an strong oil flavor.
Absolutely, yeah. So olive oil is another common base oil used, but we like grapeseed oil because it has, one, a higher smoke point, and two, because it's, you're not competing with a different flavor there. It's a fairly flavorless base.
Right. Well, Matt, I'm having a great time talking to you. I know all our listeners are too. We're going to take a little bit of a sponsor break, so hang in because we're going to be right back at you with lots more truffle questions. Well, hey, we're going back to Matt Morris, and he's one of the managing partners of Xylo Truffle Oils. And before we forget, Matt, and we sign you off here, tell us where we can find your oils in Oregon.
So you can find them online through our website, which is xylostruffleoil.com. And we're also in 3 stores currently. One is Capella's Market in Eugene, one is Life Source Natural Food in Salem, and the other is Pat's Pantry in Astoria.
All right. So anybody who's interested, it sounds like it's a piece of cake to go on the web down here in Southern Oregon and get it. Truffle oil is amazing. If you've never cooked with it, you want just a fantastic flavor. I mean, it's just such a great thing that you guys are doing. Now, are you also training dogs for people that want to get into this?
We haven't moved into that realm yet, but what we've told everyone is that our truffle are a great surrogate for a truffle to be used as a dog training tool. I've actually trained my Chesapeake Bay Retriever to find truffles this off season, just using our truffle oil.
Wow!
And she found her first few truffles this last weekend, so we're on the up and up with that. But yeah, so the truffle oil is a great surrogate, just a little bit on a cotton ball, and it smells pretty much just like a ripe truffle would.
Oh, how great! What a great idea! And what are the prices of your truffle oil? What's the range?
So we've got 2 different sizes. One's a 1.7-ounce bottle, and those are $13 a piece for both the white and the black. And there's about 50 servings in a small bottle. With truffle oil, a little goes a long way.
Yeah, it's very concentrated. You don't need much to have big flavor impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got a 5-ounce bottle for $30.
All righty. Oh, wonderful prices. I mean, that is very, very fair prices for really premium truffle oil. Well, give everybody your website one more time.
It's xylostruffleoil.com, and you can also find us on Facebook, where we kind of post more of the up-to-date where we're going to be and when on facebook.com/xylostruffleoil.
You might want to spell Xylo.
Oh, yeah, spell it for everybody.
That's quite unique.
Good point. Yeah, so Xylo is Xylos.
Yeah. Most of us would not have gotten to
and you can see the picture of Xylo, and there was a wonderful article recently in the Daily Astorian that our good friend Dwight Caswell wrote, and you guys are starting to get some great PR about the company, aren't you?
We are, yeah. Dwight's a great guy, and he wrote up a great article for us.
Well, that's how we found you, and we're so appreciative, Matt, that you spent time with us on Oregon Outdoors, because I know everybody got a kick out of this, and it sounds like we'll have a lot of folks down here in Southern Oregon ordering your oil just to train their dogs and see if we can find some quality ripe truffles at the base of fir trees down here. So, hey,
I'm sure you have them down there.
Oh, yeah. Well, Matt, you take care. Have a wonderful New Year. We wish you all the best for Xylo and your company, and we hope to have you on again real soon.
Well, thank you very much. It was great to be on.
Oh, it was delightful. It's Matt Morris from Xylo Truffle Oils. Can't get it better than that. Grown in Oregon product that's found by a very special truffle dog. And I understand they have another dog in training. So that's kind of fun. And they are going to be going gangbusters.
My wife didn't know they use dogs. I mean, she just had heard of the pigs.
Well, in Europe, yeah, they use pigs, and one of the biggest problems with the pigs is that they eat most of the truffles they find.
I found them, but you better stay away from them.